Hi, my name is Amegu John. Today, I'm gonna be going over assignment 1, option number 3, history for history 1302. So to get started, I'm gonna explain what the New Deal is. So the New Deal was a series of programs and projects instituted during the Great Depression by President Franklin D. Roosevelt that aimed to restore American prosperity. And when Roosevelt took office in 1933, he acted swiftly to stabilize the economy and provide jobs and relief to those who were suffering. And the three leading objectives of the New Deal were relief, recovery, and reform. So how did the New Deal increase the role of the federal government in the economy and in the lives of all Americans? Well, it expanded the powers of the federal government by establishing regulatory bodies and laying the foundation of a social welfare system. And in the future, the governments would regulate businesses and provide social welfare programs to avoid more social economic programs. So the New Deal also created a broad range of federal government programs, and some of them are still around today, but many of the most popular ones that were made back then were the Civilian Conservation Corps, the Civil Works Administration, the Farm Security Administration, the National Industrial Recovery Act of 1933, and the Social Security Administration. So how did John Maynard Keynes proposed that the government manage the economy, and what significant reforms were in line with his philosophy? So Keynes proposed that the government spend more money and cut taxes to turn a budget deficit, which would increase consumer demand in the economy. And so one of his reforms, which really contributed to the New Deal, was the National Recovery Act, which sought to boost businesses' profits and workers' wages by establishing industry-to-industry codes that set prices and wage, as well as guaranteed workers the rights to organize in unions and stuff. So how and where can we see Keynes' philosophy in American economic policy today? Well, unfortunately, his National Recovery Act was disbanded a while ago, but his concept of the federal deficit, to spend money to promote economic growth, which is something he advocated heavily, is still around today, and it's still widely believed on. And he had a lot of theories coming into economics and stuff, macroeconomics. He's known as the father of macroeconomics, which is still around today and which still leads to his popularity. So what were the successes and failures of the New Deal agenda? Successes, racially, was that African Americans benefited greatly from the New Deal, as they were given a lot more jobs and stuff. Low-cost public housing was made available for Black families, and the National Youth Administration and the Civilian Conservation Corps enabled African American youth to continue their education. But some failures were that discrimination was still there, and it was still heavily attributed to these jobs. African Americans again weren't given the best jobs. They were given jobs that there was a lot of risk involved and stuff. And then also sharecropping, which was a common occupation of African Americans, were no longer needed, and a lot of them lost their jobs and homes. So what legacies of the New Deal are still seen in America today? Many programs established throughout the New Deal are still in works today, such as the Social Security program, unemployment insurance, and federal agricultural subsidies are still with us today. So yeah, thank you.